What's going on, everybody? So today we are going to be getting right into it. We're going to go ahead and try to get the black WJ running, get it pulled in the garage, and get to work on this. There's quite a bit of stuff we have to get done on it, but as you guys know, the blue WJ just got kind of wrapped up with its first phase. It's on the long arm kit, the 37s, all that kind of cool stuff. So now it's time to go ahead and get this one set up, get this one fixed. We're going to be revamping this build throughout the winter. Also, that is not for this Jeep. That one's for the blue one, actually. But today we're going to be trying to get the taillight swapped out, pump the tires up. I got to put the cross member back in it for like the transfer case and all that stuff. So that sounds terrible, but I'm going to have to get that done anyway. I have to drill out a couple bolts. We got to clean up the windows and just get this thing running all together, clean it up, make it presentable again, and then we'll get to modifying it. Here's the cross member I got to put back in. So the reason we didn't have this in actually was because a couple of the bolts broke, and I did have the blue WJ getting work done. So we did get that done. Now we're back to this one. So for starters, since this Jeep has not ran in like a year, we're going to go ahead and put the battery on charge. That way this should be ready to start by the time we get to that. I still have to do some other stuff before we're ready to turn it on. Worst case, we'll go ahead and jump start it with the Wrangler if it comes to that and it's not ready. Also, you guys might notice the jack handle hood brace. We're going to go ahead and have to replace these hood struts as well, so you guys can expect to see that sometime soon. I'm not even sure where the one on this side went. This whole car is kind of just falling apart, so it's time to fix it and get it back on the trails. So let's go ahead and get these ugly, already painted over with bed liner and primer taillights taken out of this thing. We'll put in the other ones. I'm actually going to be putting in the same factory stock ones since we have them ready. We did go ahead and replace the ones on the other Jeep, so we have an extra set of stock ones. I'm going to go ahead and just throw those on here. It'll be a lot easier and it'll look way better. These were already broke, so it wasn't a huge deal. So as you guys can see, old ones are out. Time to put the new ones in. These were broke, like I was saying. They had like airsoft BBs in them and stuff from a long time ago, so time to replace them with some ones that work and aren't cracked and all set up correctly. This wiring plug was broken. I'm gonna go ahead and get a new one. It doesn't seem like it'd be too hard to splice a new one on there. Shouldn't be too difficult at all. So I'm gonna order one of those, but for now we're gonna go ahead and use that just because I want to get these taillights in and get everything set up today if possible. But let's go ahead and get these put in. And just like that, they're already in. I didn't want to really show you guys the process again because we just made a video changing taillights on the other Jeep. So I figured I'd just put these in off camera. Super simple. So I'm going to go ahead, do the other side, get everything wrapped up, and we should be good to go. I just have to put air in the tires, and then we'll put the cross member in. Hopefully get the Jeep started after that. Then we'll back it in the garage. So go ahead and comment your guess below. Do you think the Jeep's going to start on the first try, or do you not think it's going to start on the first try? Also, I did want to let you guys know, now that we got both taillights in, we're going to be refreshing this setup. I kind of rushed through it. It's a good setup. It works. I'm just going to repaint it, set it all up correctly. And we're going to be adding some stuff to it because it's going to be carrying parts for both the other Jeeps. So it needs to be solid, needs to be easy to use. So we're also going to kind of revamp that this winter and get everything set up correctly. So that way this can be a great support vehicle for the other two Jeeps, because that's kind of what the point of this one is. And now we got to go ahead and get the cross member put in once we get the tires filled up. That way it'll lift the car up just a little bit, give me a little bit more room. Then we'll put it in the garage. Like I was saying, we'll make a plan from there and see what needs to be fixed sooner and later. All right, so now that I got these two tires pumped up, it did give us actually quite a bit more room underneath, which will be nice when we have to put that cross member back in, since I do have to drill out some bolts. But for now, we got to pump this tire up, but I have to get the car turned on because it won't reach from the Wrangler over here. So I'm gonna have to get the car turned on. That way we can go ahead, raise the car up a little bit, then get this cross member put in. I do have two of these cross members from both of my Jeeps, but we're gonna use this one because it's in a little bit better shape than the other one. So I'm gonna have to go ahead, get under there, see how many of these bolts I can get to line up. I'm honestly just gonna put in a couple of these bolts if I can get them on both sides, not all of them, just so we can like kind of limp it into the garage. Then from there, I'll be able to drill it because it does get dark so early. I won't be able to work on this too late. So I would like to get it in the garage so that way we can get more work done on it, work on it throughout the night. Also, if you didn't know, this Jeep is actually getting an axle swap with Wrangler axles. It'll be the old axles out of this Jeep since we swapped this into here. Then that Jeep will be getting 1-tons, and we're going to be documenting both of those swaps so you guys know how to do it. But first, let me go ahead and try to get this car turned on. It's all wet, so I don't really want to lay under it too long. Then we'll go ahead and get everything figured out. So I got some cardboard down so I don't have to lay on the ground. But first we're gonna go ahead and try to start the car. It's a good sign because we have power. It's making all the beeping sounds and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a try. I honestly would not be surprised if it doesn't turn on first try because it's been sitting there so long. Swap this over to engine start, and then also shout out to Najar for sending this awesome key tag. Make sure you guys check him out if you haven't. Now let's go ahead and see if this Jeep will turn on. Well, I'm going to be honest, not very surprising. It did not turn on. So I'm going to hop out, see what's going on, see if I can figure anything out, redo the connections, and get everything set up correctly. Update, we went ahead and hooked it up to the Wrangler. I just need a little bit more power, so we got it hooked up here. So now let's go ahead, see if this will get it started. If not, I'm probably going to go ahead and grab the battery out of the blue one for now because that's not going to be driven for a little while. Have to get tires and stuff for that right now anyway. So let's go ahead, turn the Wrangler on, then we'll go ahead over back to the Grand Cherokee, see if it'll turn on. If not, we're gonna go ahead and just swap the battery with the blue one for now, and then I'll get a new battery for the Jeeps. I actually need a new battery for this Jeep and the red Jeep, so, you know, kind of gonna be an expensive AutoZone trip coming up soon. Well, still no luck. The Jeep's not turning on, so let's swap batteries. All right, so I went ahead, swapped the battery, got everything set up there, and that's part of the issue. It turned on, but this pulley is like seized up for the alternator, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the belt off and see if I can undo that. The Jeep did turn on and it was all right, but I do have to go ahead and do that because the belt was just kind of slipping over top of it. I have to possibly just take the bolt off and take it into the garage without it. It doesn't have to go very far. Either going to need a new alternator, or we're going to go ahead and try to break this one loose and get it fixed. Not sure if that's even going to be possible, but we're going to give it our best shot. It is getting dark though, so I'm not going to be able to work on this much later, and it's about to rain. So unfortunately, the Jeep is not going to be moving today, but I'm going to make that my plan for tomorrow. And I also have to get a new terminal here, or like connector, because that's loose even though it's tightened down as far as it'll go. Not a huge deal. There's just a lot of little stuff like that we have to fix. So goal for tomorrow, fix the alternator, get a new one, get the cross member in, and get it in the garage so we can start getting to work on this Jeep. It's definitely going to need a whole lot more work than the blue one needed. So I definitely need all of winter to work on this thing. My plan is over like the next week or two, go ahead and get this thing fixed, get it driving, running, and working. We'll take it off-roading a couple times just to kind of feel it out and see what it's doing, see how it compares. I want to compare this one to that one off-road, see how it does. And then hopefully have 3 cars that work. That would be the first time since owning all 3 that they all 3 turn on and work. But that basically wraps up this video. Since those 2 Jeeps are working, we're going to go ahead and get this one working next. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.